All right, been a long time coming on an update. Man, my hands are all oily. Hang on. Okay, hey, it's Grant. So I haven't talked about this truck in a long time. My red truck out there. Yeah, if y'all want to walk around, it's such a jacked up truck. It has a long story, and but I'm not going to get into that. Just some people might be wondering what's going on with that truck and the Duramax. So, if you'll recall, this there's the broken crank, custom two-piece crankshaft. Some people have said, and what I'm doing is with my sons, my daughters kind of think it's cool too, but we're gonna have a machine shop rebuild this. I've got some sweet new parts. I got a whole plan for this. Truck. There's a new crank gear, alternate fire camshaft, and a Cali's Compstar crank. And so what I'm doing is we tore the engine all the way down. Like we had the heads off. Obviously there's no crankshaft in it. The pistons are in this box. So all the rods and pistons are in here, caps, everything's ready to go to the machine shop. Gonna be sending it to South Houston Engine. I live in Sugar Land, so South Houston Engine came highly recommended. And yeah, so actually called the machine shop yesterday, and I tore it down too far, which is cool because I was kind of teaching my boys, stuff. The neighbor kids came over. It was great. I'm not a machinist. I pulled a motor out of my truck, and I can kind of explain what's up, but I don't feel good about trying to put it back together, especially after spending, whatever. I don't remember exactly the cost, but on all those parts. So here's the deal. I just threw the heads back on. These are finger tight, threw it all back together. Talked to the machine shop. They said, yeah, send it with the rockers. Well, I'm like, duh, why didn't I think of that? But I got to put it all back together. This is my handy dandy push rod organizer. It's pretty janky, guys, but this is like a shade tree deal. It's not going to be a race truck. I'll get into later about what I'm trying to turn this thing into, but that's the update. Gonna putting some push rods down in there and throwing the rocker arms back on. Just finger tighten everything so I can get it up to South Houston Engine. I would love to have the time to walk through with South Houston about what they're gonna do, and so if people are following along, considering doing stuff like this, that's kind of what I do. Is I learn from the internet and I go do goofy stuff like this. So yeah, once I get the push rods in, the rockers back on, I think it's ready to send to them. I'm just gonna send it with the original cam in there. There's nothing really wrong with the cam. The crank gear got kind of gummed up. The reluctor wheel got a little tore up when the crank broke. And obviously the crank is trashed. But otherwise, I'm hoping they come back and say, pistons, rods, everything's fine. I don't want to go buy all new stuff. This motor is probably going to be cranking out 500-600 horse at the crank max. So anyway, I'll let you go. Peace.